Respect rarely disappears in one dramatic moment. It erodes quietly. Like stone underwater, the change is slow enough that most people never notice it happening to them. Someone who once valued your words begins to interrupt you. Someone who once admired you starts giving advice you never asked for. Invitations become optional. Your presence becomes negotiable. And you are left confused, because you are still the same person. Still kind. Still capable. Still trying. But respect does not follow your intentions. It follows the signals you emit. Human beings are constantly reading each other, not morally, but strategically. At a subconscious level, every social brain is asking the same ancient question. Where does this person stand in the hierarchy of reliability, strength, and value? Respect is not granted for being good. It is granted for being perceived as solid. And many people unknowingly signal the opposite. One of the fastest ways respect erodes is through over-availability. When you are always reachable, always flexible, always accommodating, your time stops looking valuable. Scarcity creates perceived worth. Abundance without boundaries creates the opposite. If someone can access you anytime with no friction, the mind quietly categorizes you as low priority. This is not cruelty. It is pattern recognition built into social cognition. Humans evolved to value what required effort and to discount what was easily obtained. When your presence requires no effort, it is processed as replaceable. Another silent destroyer of respect is chronic self-justification. When a person constantly explains their choices, defends minor decisions, or seeks permission for their own preferences, they communicate uncertainty. And uncertainty lowers perceived status. A stable mind does not need to narrate its reasoning to be valid. The more you explain yourself to gain approval, the more you signal that approval is your oxygen. Then there is the inability to say no. Many confuse agreeableness with virtue. But socially, endless compliance reads as weakness. Not because kindness is bad, but because the absence of boundaries suggests fear. And fear reshapes how others position themselves around you. A person who never resists is subconsciously seen as someone who can be moved. Respect requires the possibility of resistance. A line that exists but is rarely crossed is more powerful than no line at all. Emotional volatility also corrodes respect. When reactions are unpredictable, bursts of anger, visible insecurity, public oversharing, people stop seeing stability. And stability is one of the foundations of respect. Throughout history, humans followed those who remained composed under pressure. Calmness signals control. Loss of control signals risk. There is also the quiet damage of seeking validation. Compliment fishing, subtle bragging, or fishing for reassurance may look harmless, but socially they reveal dependency. And dependency shifts power. The one who needs approval usually receives less of it. The one who is fine without it often receives it naturally. Another overlooked factor is tolerating subtle disrespect. Laughing off insults that bother you. Allowing interruptions. Accepting last-minute cancellations repeatedly. Every time you tolerate what diminishes you, you teach others how to value you. People rarely assign respect higher than the level you enforce for yourself. And then there is incongruence. When words and actions don't match, the social brain notices. Promises not kept. Standards preached but not followed. Confidence spoken but not embodied. Humans evolved to detect inconsistencies because inconsistency once meant danger. When your signals don't align, trust weakens. And without trust, respect has no anchor. The harsh truth is that respect is less about being liked and more about being psychologically grounded. A person who is calm, bounded, and self-directed occupies a different category in the social mind. They feel predictable in the right ways and immovable in the right moments. This does not require dominance. It requires alignment. Alignment between what you value, what you allow, and how you act. Society often teaches politeness over self-respect. It rewards agreeableness in theory but responds to boundaries in practice. Many people grow up learning how to be accepted, not how to be respected. And the two are not the same currency. Acceptance makes interactions smooth. Respect makes them meaningful. The uncomfortable realization is that people do not decide to disrespect you. They drift into it based on the signals they read. Most of it happens below conscious thought. It is social instinct, not social malice. But the process can be reversed. When your time becomes structured, your words measured, your boundaries quiet but firm, people recalibrate. Not because you demand respect, but because your behavior communicates self-value. And self-value is contagious. It informs others how to position themselves around you. Respect is not chased. It is signaled. And the moment you understand that, your social world changes. Not loudly, not instantly, but steadily. Like erosion in reverse. Like stone reclaiming its shape. Most will hear this and continue as before, trading small comforts for small approvals. That is easier. That is familiar. But a few will notice their patterns. They will speak less but mean more. They will agree less but stand firmer. They will stop negotiating their own worth in subtle ways. And those few will experience a shift that is difficult to describe but easy to feel. Because when respect stops leaking, presence starts carrying weight. And weight, in social terms, is power.